Surely such a utilitarian occupation, such as watering of flowers, is rather Morton's duty than yours, especially at a moment when intellectual pleasures await you. Your German grammar is on the table. Pray open it at page 15. We will repeat yesterday's lesson.
I don't like German. It isn't at all a becoming language, and I know perfectly well that I look quite plain after my German lesson.
Child, you know how anxious your guardian is that you should improve yourself in every way. Indeed, you always lay stress on German grammar, as he is leaving for town.
Dear Uncle Jack is so very serious. Sometimes he is so serious I think he cannot be quite well.
Your guardian enjoys the best of health, and his gravity of gentleness especially to be commended, in one as comparatively young as he is. I know no one with higher sense of duty and responsibilities.
I suppose that is why he often looks a little bored when we three are together.
Cecily, I'm surprised at you. Mr. Worthing has many troubles in his life. Idle merriment and triviality will be out of place in his conversation. And he must remember his constant anxiety about that unfortunate young man, his brother.
I hope that Uncle Jack will allow that unfortunate young man, his brother, to come down here sometimes. You might have an influence over him, Miss Frieza. I'm sure you certainly would. You know geography and geology and things of that kind influence a man very much.
I do not think that even I could produce any effect on a character that, according to his own brother's admission, is irretrievably weak and vacillating. Indeed, I would not even desire to reclaim him. I'm not in favor of this modern mania turning bad people into good people in a moment's notice. As a man, so socially weak. You must put away your diary, Cecily. I don't see why you should keep a diary at all.
I keep a diary in order to enter the wonderful secret of my life. If I didn't write them down, I should probably forget all about them.
Memory, my dear Cecily, is the diary that we all carry about with us.
I believe memory is responsible for all the 3-volume novels that Moody sends us.
Do not speak slightingly of the 3-volume novel, Cecily. I wrote one myself in earlier days.
Oh, did you really, Miss Frieza? How wonderfully clever you are. I hope it did not end happily. I don't like novels that end happily. They depress me so much.
The good ended happily, and the bad unhappily. That's what fiction means.
I suppose so, but it seems unfair. And was your novel ever published?
Alas, no. The manuscript was abundant. I used the word in the sense of lost or mislaid. To a work child, these speculations are profitless.
But I see Dr. Chasuble coming up to the garden.
Dr. Chasuble, this is indeed a pleasure.
And how are we this morning? Miss Prism, you are, I trust, well.
Miss Prism has just been complaining about a slight headache. I think it would do her so much good to have a short stroll with you in the park, Dr. Chasuble.
Certainly, I've not mentioned anything about a headache.
No, dear Miss Prism, I certainly know that. But I felt instinctively that you had a headache. And indeed, I was thinking about that and not about my German lesson when the rector came in.
I hope, Cecily, you are not inattentive.
Oh, I'm afraid I am.
That is strange. Were I fortunate enough to be Miss Prism's pupil, I would hang upon her lips. I spoke metaphorically. My metaphor was drawn from these. Mr. Worthing, I suppose, has not returned from town yet?
Do not expect him till Monday afternoon.
Ah, yes. He usually likes to spend his Sunday in London. He's not one of those who so aim his enjoyment as, by all accounts, that unfortunate young man his brother seems to be. But I must not disturb Egeria and her pupil any longer.
Egeria? My name is Letitia, Doctor.
A classical allusion, maybe, drawn from the famous author. I shall see you both, no doubt, at Evensong.
I think, dear Doctor, I'd like to stroll with you. I find that I have a headache after all, and a walk may do it good.
With pleasure, Miss Prism, with pleasure. We might go as far as the schools and back.
That would be delightful. Cecily, you will read the political economy in my absence.
Mudding has just driven over from the stations. He has brought his luggage with him.
Mr. Ernest Worthing, D4, the Albany, W. Uncle Jack's brother. Did you tell him Mr. Ernest was in town?
Yes, miss. He seemed very much disappointed. I mentioned that you and Miss Prism were in the garden. He said he was anxious to speak to you privately for a moment.
Ask Mr. Ernest Worthing to come here. I suppose you had a better talk with the housekeeper for a room for him.
Yes, miss.
I have never really met any wicked person before. I feel rather frightened. I suppose he looks just like everyone else. He does.
I'm sure you are my little cousin Cecily.
You are under some strange mistake. I am not little. In fact, I believe I am much taller than my age. But you, from your car I see, is Uncle Jack's brother, my cousin Ernest, my wicked cousin Ernest.
Oh, you mustn't think that I'm really wicked, cousin Cecily. I'm not that wicked at all.
If you are not, then you have certainly been deceiving us all in a very inexcusable manner. I hope you are not leading a double life, pretending to be wicked and be really good all the time. That would be hypocrisy.
Oh, cousin Cecily, I have been rather reckless.
I'm glad to hear it.
Since you mentioned about the subject, I had been very bad in my own small way.
I don't think you're supposed to be so proud of that, but don't. That must have been very pleasant.
It is much pleasant being here with you.
I can't understand why you are here at all. Uncle Jack will be back till Monday afternoon.
That is a very great disappointment. I am obliged to go out by the first train on Monday morning. I have a business appointment that I'm anxious to miss.
Couldn't you miss it anywhere but in London?
No, the appointment is in London.
But I think you had better wait till Uncle Jack arrives. I know he wants to talk to you about your emigrating.
About my what?
Your emigrating. He has gone up to buy your outfit.
I certainly wouldn't let Jack buy my outfit. He has no taste at all in bow ties.
I don't think you will require bow ties at all. Uncle Jack is sailing to Australia.
Australia? I'd sooner die.
Well, he said on dinner at Wednesday night, you will have to choose between this world, the next world, and Australia.
Well, the accounts I received of Australia and the next world are particularly not encouraging. This world is good enough for me, cousin Cecily.
Yes, but are you good enough for it?
I'm afraid I'm not that. But that is why I want you to reform myself. You might take that as your mission, cousin Cecily, if you don't mind.
I'm afraid I have no time this afternoon.
Would you mind reforming myself this afternoon?
It is rather quixotic of you, but I think you should try.
I will. I feel better already.
You are looking a little worse.
Oh, this is because I am hungry.
Oh, how thoughtless of me. I should have remembered when one is starting to lead a new life, then one requires a regular and wholesome meal. Won't you come in?
Thank you. Might I have a buttonhole first? I have never had anything unless I have a buttonhole first.
A Marshall meal?
No, I sooner have a pink rose.
Why?
Because you are just like a pink rose, cousin Cecily.
I don't think it can be right for you to talk to me like that. Miss Prism doesn't say such.
Then Miss Prism is a short-sighted already. You are the prettiest girl I ever saw.
Miss Prism says that all the good are snares.
There are a snare that every sensible man would like to be caught in.
Oh, I wouldn't mind. I don't think I would mind. Catch a sensible man. I shouldn't know what to talk to him about.
I think, dear doctor, you should get married. But Mr. Traub, I can understand. A woman Traub never.
Believe me, I do not deserve so neologistic a phrase. The precepts as well as the practice of the primitive church was distinctly against matrimony.
That's why the primitive church has now lasted up to the present day. And you do not seem to realize, dear doctor, that by persistently remaining single, a man converts himself into a permanent public temptation. And this celibacy leads weak ourselves astray.
But is a man not equally attractive when married?
No man is ever attractive except to his wife.
And often I've been told, not even to her.
That depends on the intellectual sympathies of the woman. Maturity can always be depended on. But where is Cecily?
Perhaps she followed us to the school.
Mr. Worthing,
Mr. Worthing,
this is indeed a surprise. Did not expect you till Monday afternoon.
I have returned sooner than I expected. Dr. Chasuble, I hope you're well.
dear Mr. Worthing, I trust this novel forward doesn't betoken some terrible calamity.
My brother,
More shameful debts and extravagance.
Still leading his life of pleasure?
dead,
Your brother Ernest dead?
quite dead.
What a lesson for him. I trust he'll profit by it.
Dear Mr. Worthing, I offer you my sincere condolence. You have at least the consolation of knowing that you were always the most forgiving and generous of brothers.
Poor Ernest, he had many faults, but it is sad, sad blow.
Very sad indeed. Were you with him at the end?
No, he died abroad. In Paris, in fact. I had received a telegram from the manager of the Grand Hotel last night.
Was the cause of death mentioned?
A severe chill, it seems.
As a man sows, so shall he reap.
Charity, dear Miss Prism, charity. None of us are perfect. I myself am peculiarly susceptible to draughts. Will the interment take place here?
No. He seemed to have expressed a desire to be buried in Paris.
In Paris? You would no doubt wish me to make some slight allusion to this tragic domestic affliction next Sunday. My sermon on the meaning of the manna in the wilderness can be adapted to almost any occasion, joyful or, as in the present case, distressing. I have preached it at harvest celebrations, christenings, confirmations, days of humiliations, and festival days.
Ah, that reminds me. Dr. Chasuble, I think you're mentioning about christening, I think. I suppose you know how to christen, all right? I mean, of course, you are continually christening, aren't you?
It is, I regret to say, one of the rector's most constant duties in this parish. I've often spoken to the poorer classes on this subject, but they do not seem to understand what thrift is.
So is there a particular infant in whom you are interested, Mr. Worthing? Your brother was, I believe, unmarried, was he not?
Oh, yes.
People who live entirely for pleasures usually are.
But it is not for any child, dear doctor. I'm very fond of the children. No, the fact is I would like to be Christian myself this afternoon, if you have nothing better to do.
But surely, Mr. Worthing, you have been Christian already.
I don't remember anything about it.
But have you any grave doubts on the subject?
I certainly intend to. But of course, I don't know if that thing would bother you, or if you think I'm a little too old now.
Oh, not at all. The sprinkling and indeed the immersion of adults is a perfectly canonical practice.
Immersion.
You need have no apprehensions. The sprinkling is all that is necessary, or indeed, I think advisable. At what hour would you wish the ceremony performed?
I might try around 5 if that would suit you.
Perfectly. Perfectly. In fact, I have two similar ceremonies to perform at that time. A case of twins that occurred recently in one of the outlying cottages on your own estate.
Oh, I don't see much fun in being Christian with other babies. It would be childish. Would 5:30 do?
Admirably. Admirably. And now, I shall not intrude any longer into a house of sorrow. I would merely beg you not to be too much bogged down by grief. What seem to us bitter trials are often blessings in disguise.
This seems to me a blessing of an extremely obvious kind.
Uncle Jack, I'm so pleased to see you back. But what horrid clothes you have got on. Do go and change them.
Cecily!
My child, my child.
What's the matter, Uncle Jack? You look happy. You look as if you had a toothache. Oh, and I have got such a Don't say that. No matter how bad he may have behaved to you in the past, he is still your brother. I will tell him to come out, and you will shake hands with him, won't you, Uncle Jack?
These are very joyful tidings. After we had all been designed his loss, his sudden return seems to me peculiarly distressing.
What nonsense! I don't know what this all means. My brother is in the dining room? I think it is perfectly absurd. Good heavens!
Brother John! I've come down from town to tell you that I am very sorry for all the trouble I've given you. I'm dead. I intend to lead a better life in the future.
Uncle Jack, you are not going to refuse your own brother's hand?
Nothing will induce me to take his hand. His coming there is disgraceful. I think he knows perfectly well why.
Uncle Jack, do be nice. There is some good in everyone. Ernest has just been telling me about his poor invalid friend, Mr. Bunbury, whom he goes to visit so often.
Oh, he has been talking about Bunbury, has he?
Yes, he has been telling me all about Mr. Bunbury and his poor terrible state of health.
Bunbury? Well, I won't have him talk to you about Bunbury or anything else. It is enough to drive one perfectly frantic.
I must admit that the faults were all on my side. But I must say that I think that Brother John's coldness to me is peculiarly painful. I'm expecting a more enthusiastic welcome, as considering this is the first time I ever come here.
Uncle Jack, if you don't shake hands with Ernest, I will never forgive you.
Never forgive me?
Never, never, never.
Well, this is the last time I shall ever do it.
It is so pleasant, isn't it? Is it not? To see so perfect a reconciliation? I think we might leave the two brothers together.
Cecily, you'll come with us.
Certainly, Miss Prism. My little task of reconciliation is over.
You have done a beautiful action today, dear child.
We must not be premature in our judgments.
I feel very happy.
You young scandal, Algie! You must get out of this place as soon as possible. I don't allow any bumbling here.
I have put Mr. Ernest's luggage in the room next to yours, sir. I suppose that is all right.
What?
Mr. Ernest's luggage, sir. I unpack it and put it in the room next to your own.
His luggage?
Yes, sir. 3 portmanteaus, a dressing case, 2 hat boxes, and a large luncheon basket.
I'm afraid I couldn't stay more than a week this time.
Merriman, order the dog cart at once. Mr. Ernest had been suddenly called back to town.
Yes, sir.
What a fearful liar you are, Jack. I haven't been called back to town at all.
Yes, you have.
I haven't heard anyone call me.
Your duty as a gentleman calls you back.
My duty as a gentleman has never interfered with my pleasures in the smallest degree.
I can quite understand that.
Well, Cecily is a darling.
You're not to talk about Miss Cardew like that. I don't like it.
Well, I don't like your clothes. You look perfectly ridiculous in them. This is perfectly childish for a man who will indeed mourning and is actually staying in the house for a week as a guest. I call it grotesque.
You are certainly not staying with me for a whole week as a guest or anything else. You have to catch the 4-5 train.
I wouldn't leave you so long, Jack. You'll be unfriendly. If I were in mourning, I suppose you will be staying beside me, aren't you? If you did, then I would be thinking it as unkind.
Well, will you go if I change my clothes?
Yes, if you don't take so long to dress. I never saw anyone take so long to dress and with such little result.
Well, at any rate, that is better than being always overdressed as you are.
Well, if I am little overdressed, I always make up for it by being always overeducated.
Your vanity is ridiculous. Your conduct and outburst and your presence in my garden is utterly absurd. However, you will have to go catch the 4-5 train, and I hope you will have a pleasant journey. This bumbling, as you call it, has not been a great success for you.
This has been a great success. I'm in love with Cecily, and that is everything.